Life is often filled with challenges, and sometimes it feels as if the weight of the world is on our shoulders. But it is through these very struggles that we begin to uncover our true worth and strength. When everything seems to be falling apart, we often fail to notice that there are hidden lessons within those moments that can shape us into better versions of ourselves. It's in the small, seemingly insignificant decisions we make each day and in the relationships where we give our all that we find profound meaning and growth. These moments are not random. They are part of a greater plan, helping us realize that change doesn't always come from the outside world. Often, it is from within, through self-reflection, that we find the courage to evolve. As you navigate these challenges and embrace the lessons that life offers, remember that personal growth is an ongoing journey. Sometimes the most powerful changes begin when you choose to shift your mindset and take control of your own path. And as you embark on this journey, I invite you to take a step further with us at Value Gold, where we explore life's deeper meanings, share inspiring stories, and discuss the wisdom that can help us all become the best versions of ourselves. Join us and let's grow together. The day a blind man sees, the first thing he throws away is the stick that helped him all his life. This powerful metaphor reminds us that sometimes, in order to move forward, we must let go of the things that once served us, even if they have been with us for a long time. Just as the blind man discards his cane when he gains sight, there are moments in our lives when we need to shed old habits, beliefs, or attachments that have helped us survive but are no longer useful for the life we want to build. It's not always easy because those things have shaped us, comforted us, and given us direction. But the real breakthrough happens when we recognize that, in order to grow and see the world clearly, we must release what holds us back. This is true in every aspect of life, whether it's releasing old fears, toxic relationships, or outdated mindsets. To truly move forward, we must be willing to step into the unknown and embrace new possibilities. And as we do, we gain more than just freedom. We gain the strength to truly live, to make decisions that are in alignment with who we are becoming. It is a continuous journey of growth, and the first step is always letting go. Sometimes you have to suffer in life, not because you're a bad person, but because you didn't realize when to stop being good to the wrong person. It's easy to fall into the trap of giving, loving, and caring for others, sometimes at the expense of our own well-being. We believe that kindness will be returned, that our love will be reciprocated, or that our efforts will be appreciated. But what happens when that kindness is taken for granted, or when we give so much of ourselves to someone who is not worthy of it? The pain comes not from being good, but from failing to recognize when to stop. There is a delicate balance between giving and preserving your own peace. Sometimes the hardest lesson is learning to walk away, even when you still care. It's about knowing when to set boundaries and when to protect your energy. If you continuously give to the wrong people, you risk losing yourself in the process. Life teaches us that real love and kindness begin with self-respect, and that means knowing when to let go and when to say enough. This isn't about becoming cold or heartless, but about understanding that your energy is precious. By recognizing the right time to stop investing in someone who doesn't value you, you make room for relationships that are more fulfilling, that honor you for who you truly are. One of the biggest mistakes we make is assuming that other people think the way we think. We often believe that others see the world through the same lens we do, that they share our values, opinions, and experiences. This misunderstanding can lead to frustration, disappointment, and conflict. The truth is, everyone has a unique perspective shaped by their own life experiences, upbringing, and emotions. Just because we think something is right or obvious doesn't mean others will see it the same way. In relationships, both personal and professional, this is a critical point to remember. Communication breaks down when we expect others to automatically understand or agree with our thoughts without making the effort to listen and truly understand theirs. We must learn to step outside of our own mindset and embrace empathy, seeing the world from the viewpoint of others. This not only helps us navigate misunderstandings, but also fosters deeper connections and mutual respect. By recognizing that everyone has their own perspective, we open the door to better conversations healthier relationships, and a more harmonious world. It's about being open minded and accepting that we don't have to agree on everything to respect each other's views. You can't change someone who doesn't see a problem with their actions. It's one of the hardest truths we must face in life. We often invest time and energy trying to help someone recognize their flaws, hoping they'll change, only to realize that change can never come unless the other person is willing to see their own shortcomings. If they don't recognize that their behavior is harmful, there's little you can do to convince them otherwise. This doesn't mean we stop caring or stop trying to be a positive influence, but it's important to know when to stop fighting a battle that isn't yours to win. Change comes from within, and no matter how much you want someone to improve, they must want it for themselves. If they are blind to their own actions, no amount of explanation or advice will have the power to shift their perspective. The real strength lies in knowing when to walk away and focus on your own growth. Sometimes, loving someone means accepting them for who they are and recognizing that their journey is not yours to direct. It's a painful lesson, but it teaches us the importance of self-respect and boundaries. The greatest thing you can give yourself is freedom from what others think. Too often, we allow the opinions of others to shape our decisions, our self-worth, and even our happiness. We spend so much time trying to fit into other people's expectations, hoping to be liked or approved of, that we forget the most important person to please is ourselves. Living for others' approval creates a life full of limitations and compromises, where we're constantly chasing after an elusive sense of validation. True freedom comes when we release the need for external validation and start living authentically, according to our own values and beliefs. It's about having the courage to stand in your truth, even if it means stepping away from the crowd. When you no longer feel the weight of others' judgments, you make room for self-expression and self-love. You begin to understand that the only opinion that truly matters is your own, and that by living in alignment with your own heart, you attract the people who appreciate you for who you really are. This freedom doesn't come overnight. It's a practice, a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. But once you begin to embrace it, you'll feel a sense of lightness, of peace, knowing that you no longer need to mold yourself to fit into someone else's idea of who you should be. The greatest gift you can give yourself is the permission to be exactly who you are. You can't make someone love you by giving them more of what they already don't appreciate. It's one of the hardest lessons in life, but it's also one of the most important. Love and affection cannot be forced, no matter how much you give or how hard you try. Sometimes we make the mistake of believing that if we just do more, give more, or love more, the other person will finally recognize our worth and return our feelings. But love is not about quantity. It's about genuine connection, mutual respect, and understanding. When we give more of ourselves to someone who doesn't value what we've already offered, we risk losing ourselves in the process. We start to neglect our own needs and self-worth, thinking that if we just try harder, they'll eventually notice us. But real love doesn't come from constantly giving to someone who isn't willing to appreciate it. It comes from knowing your value and choosing to be with someone who sees it. This doesn't mean you should stop being kind or generous, but it's about understanding where to direct your energy. Sometimes, the most loving thing you can do is to stop pouring into a relationship that is not reciprocated and to focus on yourself. When you stop trying to make someone love you by giving more of what they don't appreciate, you open yourself up to the possibility of finding someone who truly values and reciprocates your love. And that, ultimately, is what we all deserve. Your clothes don't need to be expensive, but they must be clean, neat, and tidy. This simple principle reflects an important aspect of self-respect and discipline. It's not about how much money you spend on clothes, but rather how you carry yourself in the way you present your appearance. Clothes are an outward reflection of who you are, and when you take pride in your appearance, it signals to the world that you value yourself and your time. Taking care of your clothes doesn't have to be a luxury or a burden. It's about mindfulness and attention to detail. A well-maintained outfit, no matter the price, speaks volumes about your character and your ability to take care of yourself. It shows that you are organized, that you care about the impression you leave, and that you are capable of putting thought into the little things. This effort often goes unnoticed by others, but it makes a world of difference in how you feel about yourself. When you feel good about how you present yourself, it boosts your confidence and gives you the energy to tackle challenges with a clear and composed mindset. It also helps you gain respect from others, not because of the brand you wear, but because of the pride you take in your personal grooming. Remember, the true essence of elegance comes from the care and consideration you put into being the best version of yourself, inside and out. Wrinkles in your clothes can diminish your elegance. It may seem like a small detail, but it's often the small things that have the greatest impact. How we present ourselves to the world reflects how we see ourselves. When we take the time to make sure our clothes are neat and tidy, we are showing respect, not only to others, but to ourselves as well. Elegance is not about wearing expensive clothes or following the latest trends. It's about the care and attention you give to your appearance. It's about knowing that the way you present yourself speaks volumes before you even say a word. Just like wrinkles in your clothes, the things we neglect in our lives can diminish the beauty and clarity of who we are. The little habits, the details we overlook, can affect the way we feel about ourselves and the way others perceive us. Taking the time to smooth out the wrinkles, whether in our appearance, our relationships, or our mindset, helps us show up in the world with confidence and grace. Elegance is a mindset. It's about living with intention and caring about the impression we leave on the world, not from a place of vanity, but from a place of self-respect. When you make the effort to present the best version of yourself, not only will you feel more empowered, but you will also inspire others to do the same. And it's not about perfection. It's about consistency and the awareness of how we show up every day, with or without wrinkles. Just because you miss someone doesn't mean you need them back in your life. It's a truth that can be difficult to accept, especially when we long for the comfort and familiarity that certain people brought into our lives. Missing someone can stir up a flood of emotions, and in those moments, it's easy to mistake that longing for the need to reconnect with them. But missing someone is often just a sign that you're healing, that you're remembering the good times while acknowledging that those times have passed. We must learn to differentiate between nostalgia and the genuine need for a person's presence. Sometimes, what we miss is not the person themselves, but the feelings they once gave us, the sense of belonging, love, or security. But those feelings are within us too. We have the power to create new experiences, new memories, and new connections. Holding on to someone who no longer fits into your life can prevent you from embracing the future and all the growth that comes with it. It's okay to miss someone and still choose to let go. In fact, doing so is a powerful act of self-love. It means that you're not allowing your past to control your present or future. Instead, you're honoring the lessons learned, but also acknowledging that sometimes the best way to move forward is to leave certain people and moments behind. True growth comes from learning to let go with grace and knowing that the space left by someone is an opportunity for something better to come into your life. Missing is a part of getting over. It's an essential step in the healing process, even though it often feels like an obstacle. When we miss someone or something, it's a sign that we've experienced something meaningful, something that left an imprint on our hearts. But the act of missing is not a permanent state. It's a phase, a necessary one, on the road to recovery. It's like a bridge between holding on and letting go. You can't rush through the feelings of missing. You must allow yourself to feel them fully, to acknowledge the impact they had on you. What we often forget is that missing something doesn't mean we can't move forward. It's proof that we're processing, that we're slowly untangling ourselves from the past. The emptiness that comes with missing is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It shows that we are resilient enough to face the loss and eventually make peace with it. As we continue on this journey, we realize that the act of missing will gradually fade, replaced by the space for new experiences, new connections, and new possibilities. Embrace missing as a part of growth. Every time you miss someone or something, you are taking one more step toward freedom. toward understanding that the past will not define your future. Missing is the heart's way of healing, teaching us that it's okay to let go and make room for new beginnings. The more you accept it, the quicker you will find peace within yourself, knowing that it was all part of the process of becoming stronger, wiser, and more whole. Forget trying to change people. Either change yourself or change your environment, or both. This is a powerful reminder that we have control over only one thing in this world: ourselves. We can spend countless hours, days, or even years trying to change others, trying to mold them into the people we believe they should be. But the harsh reality is, change can only happen when a person decides they want to change. Until then, no matter how hard we try, we will only meet resistance, frustration, and disappointment. Instead of focusing on changing others, shift your energy to changing the things you can control: yourself and your environment. Start by working on your own mindset, your beliefs, and your reactions. When you change the way you think, how you react, and what you tolerate, you create a shift within yourself that attracts different outcomes. You'll find that, as you evolve, your perspective on others and their actions will change too. You'll either begin to understand them better or recognize that they no longer fit into the vision you have for your life. Sometimes it's not just about changing yourself, it's about changing your surroundings. If the people or the environment you're in are hindering your growth, it might be time to walk away and seek a place or a group that aligns with who you're becoming. Surround yourself with people who support your growth, who challenge you in positive ways, and who inspire you to be your best self. In the end, trying to change others only drains you. But when you focus on transforming yourself or your environment, you empower yourself to take control of your life and create the space for the changes you desire. Leave when a promise turns into a sorry. Promises are powerful. They're a commitment, a bond between people. But when promises are broken repeatedly, when words turn into empty apologies, it's time to acknowledge the truth. Actions speak louder than words. Apologies, no matter how sincere they may seem, lose their meaning if they aren't followed by real change. A promise is meant to be honored, and when it's not, it's a sign that something deeper is wrong. Staying in situations where promises are broken can drain you emotionally and mentally. You begin to lose trust, and with trust goes the foundation of any healthy relationship. In these moments, it's important to recognize that you deserve more than just words. You deserve actions, commitment, and respect. If someone continuously turns their promises into apologies without showing real effort to change, they are not valuing you the way you deserve. Leaving isn't about giving up. It's about taking back your power and choosing your peace over the chaos of unmet expectations. It's about knowing when enough is enough and having the courage to walk away from what no longer serves you. It's hard, it's painful, but it's necessary. Sometimes the best thing you can do for yourself is to leave when a promise turns into a sorry. And in doing so, you open yourself up to new possibilities. Ones where promises are kept and where your value is recognized and honored.